Okay, so good morning students. Today we start the next topic, that is the asexual reproduction. But before that we go to the previous topic which we discussed already, and that is we discuss about embryo development, how embryo development takes place. So in animals which undergo external fertilization, embryo takes place outside the female. So we discuss generally the embryo development fertilization that takes place outside the body is called external fertilization, whereas internal fertilization is a fertilization which takes place inside the body. So the embryos continues to grow within their egg coverings, and after the embryos develop, the eggs hatch. So that is the concept of embryo development we discussed in the last class. We also discussed about what are viviparous and oviparous animals. So animals that give birth to young ones directly are called viviparous. For example, human beings, we give birth directly to young ones. Then you have cats, horses, which give directly birth to young ones. Directly an individual is obtained, so those are called viviparous. And oviparous animals are those which lay eggs, and from that eggs different type of compounds they are born. So that is basically the thing that we studied. So which means viviparous animals come under the category of internal fertilization, which is happening inside, and oviparous animals come inside the category of external fertilization. So also we discussed about metamorphosis, life cycle of silkworm and frog. In metamorphosis means the transformation of the larva into an adult through drastic changes is called metamorphosis. And what is the life cycle and silkworm and a frog? So life cycle of a silkworm goes through egg, then larva or caterpillar, then the pupa, and then the adult. Life cycle of a frog: eggs, early tadpole, late tadpole, adult frog. What do you mean by asexual reproduction? Now what I discussed in asexual reproduction is, basically we discussed about asexual reproduction which happens outside the body without the involvement of individuals. Means we individuals, we are not involved in a particular asexual reproduction, but in sexual reproduction we individuals are involved, because the fusion of male and female gametes that takes place inside the female body. But in asexual reproduction that does not take place inside the female body, that takes place outside. So reproduction that takes place without the involvement of two individuals of the same species is known as sexual reproduction. What is binary fission? So asexual reproduction takes place through two processes. One is binary fission, which you understand in amoeba, and one is budding, which takes place in hydra. So binary fission may what happens? The type of asexual reproduction in which animals reproduces by dividing into two individuals. The reproduction in which the animals divide themselves to individuals, that is called binary fission. Fission means splitting, and binary means two. So splitting into two. So the type of asexual reproduction in which animals reproduce by dividing into two individuals is called binary fission. What is budding? Budding is another form of asexual reproduction characterized by growth and separation. So once it grows, then it separates, and in that way the budding happens. Budding takes place. So with that respect, we have the parent amoeba. You can see the diagram. This is the parent amoeba, and then the nucleus starts dividing. In the second one, you can see the nucleus starts dividing. Then once the nucleus starts dividing, then you get formation of daughter amoeba. After that we get two daughter amoeba, and we get two nucleus. So first we had one nucleus, we had one parent amoeba. So this is called binary fission. So fission means splitting into two, and binary means two. So binary fission takes place in amoeba. So the first step is parent amoeba, second step is dividing nucleus, third step is formation of daughter amoeba, and the fourth step is the formation of daughter amoeba. So reproduction is essential for the continuation of species is the question to answer number 1. And reproduction is important for the continuation of similar kind of individuals, generation after generation. So without reproduction, students, we cannot grow. So many of you are asking me what is the difference between a zygote and a fetus. So is the difference? Zygote is the fertilized ovum is called the zygote, and the stage of the embryo where all the body parts are identified is called a fetus. Is it written wrong? It will be fetus. Zygote is a single cell, whereas fetus is a multicellular. So this was the basic idea of reproduction. So again, if I go through the previous things, so the different modes of reproduction are sexual, asexual. Then reproduction involving the fusion of male and female gametes is called sexual reproduction, happens inside the body. Then the male reproductive organs, you have a pair of testes, you have two sperm ducts, you have a penis. The testes produce the male gametes called sperms. Through the sperms, you have a head, you have a tail. Then the female reproductive organs have ovaries, oviducts and uterus. The ovary produces the female gametes called ova or eggs. Then we discuss, this is the male reproductive organ. We have sperm ducts, we have testes, we have penis. This is the female reproductive organs, we have uterus, ovary and oviduct. Then we have studied about the process of fertilization. Fusion of the egg and the sperm is called fertilization. And during fertilization, the nuclei of the sperm and the egg, they fuse. There are two types, one is internal, one is external. Internal fertilization means fertilization when it happens inside the female body, and external fertilization is the fertilization which happens outside the female body. Then we have how does an embryo develop. So fertilization results in the formation of zygote, which begins to develop into an embryo. The zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to a ball of cells. The cells then begin to form groups that develop into different kind of tissues. And the part where all the embryos or all the organs can be identified in a particular fetus is termed an embryo. So that particular embryo, that particular fetus, it develops into a baby by which we are born. Then we study, this is the formation of embryo. You have the uterus, you have the ball of cells, you have the ovulation cycle. This is the fallopian tube, red color part through which it goes into the uterus. So the embryo continues to develop in the uterus. It gradually develops body parts such as hands, legs and everything. This stage of the embryo where all the body parts can be identified is called a fetus. So viviparous and oviparous animals also discussed. Viviparous means animals that directly give birth to young ones, and oviparous means it gives birth to directly to lays eggs, and from the eggs we get. So viviparous animals, we get internal fertilization, and in oviparous animals we get external fertilization. Then what do we mean by metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is the life cycle of a frog, and the life cycle of a frog we discussed in the next slide. Life cycle of silkworm goes through egg, larva or caterpillar. Life cycle of frog goes through eggs, early tadpole, late tadpole and adult frog. We discussed about asexual reproduction, means the reproduction where individuals are not involved. And asexual reproduction has two parts. One is binary fission, one is budding, which takes place in hydra, and binary fission takes place in amoeba. So budding in hydra will be the homework for you. And what is budding? Budding is the form of asexual reproduction characterized by growth and separation. So this is actually binary fission. Fission means splitting into two. So we have parent amoeba, then the amoeba gets divided into two nucleus, then we get the formation of daughter amoeba. And this is the difference between zygote and fetus. So just the fertilized ovum is called the zygote, but when the embryo develops and we get the entire organs identified, it is called a fetus. Zygote is a single cell and fetus is a multicellular cell. So this is the video which was supposed to record today. Generally we discussed this. So reproduction, cells and combustion and flame are the extra chapters will be coming in your term 1. So till then students, stay safe, take care and try to do the questions. So combustion and flame, once again I repeat, combustion and flame, cells and reproduction, this chapter will come in your term 1 additional to the chapter number 5, first 5 chapters. But in unit test only combustion and flame is coming. So all the best, study nicely, and in case of any doubt please reach out to me. Thank you very much and all the best. Thank you.